Hello, my name's Keith and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man, and today I'm going to be talking to you about messing up. I'm going to talk to you all about messing up and how it's actually something that's kind of required for our success. Let me say this right now, God did not make us with the intention of us being perfect. We kind of got set up to mess up. The serpent made it into the Garden of Eden for a reason. It's a purposeful messing up that created a masterpiece of humans getting to heaven. So it's not, in essence, okay, how do I say this better? It's in essence us messing up, but it being a part of God's plan that we did mess up. So it's not that God messed up, it's that we messed up, but he knew we were going to do it, or he kind of set us up to do it because it's what fits the masterpiece. I'm going to give you an example. If you see these humans who make art and they're trying their hardest and they think what they made is perfect, that usually gets the least attention. When you see the artists who post their pictures and it looks like they just flat out messed up, and they're just like, the artist is like, what in the world is this? Like, what? I mean, they're like, I have to start over. And they're like, no, post it. That's the most popular piece they have. The songs you sing out loud actually manifest video was, I opened my phone very quickly, and that's my most popular video. So even I on YouTube Shorts mess up. I'll start posting more of my bloopers because I'm saying that right now. I have not stopped moving for the past couple of days. I've been like in this world, in the next world. So I have not taken a break. Even when I rest, I've been out of my body on missions and doing stuff. So I'm like, I'm not tired, but I haven't sat down. So it's not restless. It's like I have so much energy that I just don't want to stop going. The crystals act as backups. I have energy for days, but I can make myself go to sleep and leave my body and whatnot. But I'd rather do stuff and get stuff done. Although, I mean, when I make a video, sometimes it's a little less easy to not stutter. And if you look at some of my older videos, I was very much rigid. I was afraid to mess up. I'd be like talking like this, and like, hello, my name's Keith, and I'm not. That's everyone when they first start off on anything. But now I just don't care. But I don't care in the sense that I'll teach the information incorrectly. I teach it perfectly correctly, but I've been noticing for the years that I've been on this planet, everything I've messed up on is actually some of my greatest successes. The video I messed up on, the songs you sing out loud, even other videos too. Every single video I've noticed that I say, I don't want this video going viral. I just don't. That's the one that goes viral. So it's an energy thing. And I think people can feel the energy. And I don't think people can feel the energy. It's like, okay, this person is being organic. That's the thing. I'll stumble on words. It doesn't matter. I'm human. Imagine if you were to think everyone just talks without making any form of mistake. But getting back to humans' mistakes, Cain killing Abel. That's a mistake that it was going to happen. It was just going to happen. For that timeline, it was going to happen. But that moved in the progression of getting humans to spread more, if you actually look at the Bible. So it served its purpose. So it led to certain hardships that made us have more pressure on us as humans because of karmic energetically, especially to a common ancestor. And yes, I stumble on my words in this video. I have not stopped going, so I'm going to stumble on words. It actually is a part of this video because I realized that when I was making videos today. I'm like, huh. And I made a necklace too. I made a necklace and it just, at first I thought it was hideous. I'm like, there's no way I could put this necklace together like that. And then after I made the necklace, I'm like, this is one of the most beautiful, and I just messed up on the necklace. It's one of the most beautiful custom necklaces I've ever made. And it's actually something I'm going to integrate into future patterns. So I thought I messed up. In essence, you can't mess up because God's with you. Essentially, you can mess up, but you can't mess up at the same time because as long as you're trying your best. So the most important thing is putting yourself closer to God, or fighting in your relationship. Oh, let's talk about that, because your relationship with, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to tell you this right now. If your relationship with God is not interactive and you're just going through robot mechanisms, you're not challenging your relationship. You can make your relationship stronger. There are certain people who pray like robots, and their prayer does nothing. It does something, but it does a whole lot of nothing as well. I can't say that it's prayer without connection. It's prayer that's just... It's just like... I've seen people do that. Some people will just pray as a cover. I know certain people who pray because it's an image. Like, well, I did my... And they'll talk about how much they prayed in that day, and they'll constantly talk about how much they pray, or they'll brag about it, or they'll use it as kind of like, oh, I'm better than you because I pray more. It's just like, that's not how it works. You can get a tattoo of Jesus across your forehead, but it doesn't mean you're going to make Jesus happy, or you'll get into the kingdom of God. So the biggest thing in your relationship with God is you have to know it's not going to be perfect. You have to know you're going to mess up. You have to know that He's not going to punish you like that for messing up unless you're just flat out evil. Try. And that's the biggest thing. People beat themselves up for messing up. Or, let's just say, for example, humans will sometimes lose faith in God. As long as you have a faith the size of a mustard seed, you're fine. So it's impossible to stay 100% perfect at what we're doing. The only thing that's perfect is how God made us in His image, and for how He made humans in His image, humans mess up. Let's just say humans have a tendency to mess up big time. But when we've messed up the most, it actually took us the furthest. Look at Vincent van Gogh. Look at the moth flying, giant moth. Doesn't want to be seen on camera apparently, but don't be afraid to mess up. So I'm going to use my other people's small businesses as well, and I don't call any business a small business. It's full-fledged. There's nothing small about what you're doing, so don't call it a small business. But I remember a long time ago, I was just like hesitant on starting. I'm like, what if I don't make it perfect? What if I don't make it perfect? Who cares? At one point, I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to start it because I don't really care. I just got to the point where I just didn't care. I made my first website by hand. I designed it by myself. And I messed up. The first website I've ever made was horrendous. I realized, but you learn from the mistakes. You just flat out learn from the mistakes. Let me go back onto another point right now before I get back to this. I'm smelling a watermelon for some reason. And there's no one around. But what's worse, messing up or just staying idle and not doing anything? What if you were in the same spot you're right now 10 years from now because you were too comfortable, and you, instead of trying to mess up or not worried about messing up, or you didn't want to mess up, you didn't do anything and now you're stuck? Most people live lives like that, unfortunately. So mess up. So let me get back to my back then when I considered myself a small business, because let's just say there's nothing small about what I'm doing. I'm saving lives. I'm changing people's lives spiritually. Disclaimer, I'm a spiritual video. You can get a custom necklace from FloridaStoneman.com, guys. You can DM me on Instagram. I don't know how long I'll offer the custom necklace anymore, because I'll just have so many necklaces on the website that I'll just... at one point, I'll have so many necklaces on the website, I stop doing the custom necklaces, because I'll be busy. Even busier than I am now. But you can also get regular jewelry at FloridaStoneman.com, such as jewelry, rings. I'm going to offer earrings on the website soon. But my first website, back to this story, I had to trash the website. Do you know how much it just sucked? It was horrible. It felt like the end of the world. I'm like, I threw out the whole website, and I'm like, I put like a year of time into this. Meow. But, and then I realized I learned a tremendous amount of information from making that website. How do you know what's a good website? You just know it. It's an automatic knowing. Like my website, you know how I know it's good? It's because I know it. I know it's not a good website, and I know what people do. I know what people don't do. The actual information is not on YouTube. It's by experience. For example, I gave people their phones to open onto my website, and these people would open the phone, and I'd have, instead of her pictures being the first thing you see, I'd have descriptions, and people would say, "Oh, cool website," and they just scroll as fast as they could, and there's blocks of text, and no one reads stuff like that. There are certain people who will flat out read information But no one reads stuff like that. Like, it's online. People scroll and they look for pictures, and people's attention spans are the size of a peanut. If you don't believe it, there's actual studies on top of studies on top of studies that show you just that. So you have to understand that you're gonna mess up. I messed up on my first website. I just flat out messed up. Let me say this. So the first suggestions I did not take from people. I did not take the first suggestions from people. People are like, oh, you should do this, this, and this, and that. And I'm like, well, I thought to myself logically, I'm like, well, if everyone's doing this, I'd rather go in a different direction because everyone's saying it. But I couldn't discern information because I didn't have the experience. So I worked on my current website. Trial, error. I kept messing up. And now the website's amazing. It's popping. It's awesome. I know my website's awesome. I'm not being cocky. I know it's awesome because I put so much time and effort into it, and I messed up so many times that I know what it's like to not mess up now. Now, how else can you tell that, that's what you're supposed to do? And the biggest thing is, I know people who should have started their small businesses a long time ago, and they're idle. They're just stuck in life. They're just for people from 10 years ago. And these people are like, well, I could have started the small business. You didn't want to mess up. You didn't start your business. And now you're messed up because you didn't want to mess up. Something that really disturbed me from a comment on TikTok Live is someone told me that they do not want to see life changes from a custom necklace. And I thought about that, and that kind of hit me funny. Because I've not come across someone who's like, I want my life to be perfectly the same. I'm not going to, for example, they said, I'd like to get the custom necklace, but I don't want to see life changes like that. I don't care if they're positive. I don't care if they're negative. I like my life to stay exactly the same. And it just sat in my mind funny. I'm just like, of course that's not how life works, but some people think like this. In essence, that person got hit with the energy of Moldavite pretty much. So just by that person saying that, they kind of initiated their life to change. Their life is dramatically changing now, but it's without a custom necklace. I have a large amount of people who didn't believe me, and I'm not the kind of person to say that, oh, I told you so, oh, I told you so. I had a lot of people who basically heard me warn them about how crazy November will be. It's planetary, and it's a whole bunch of other things as well. And a lot of people didn't get custom necklaces, and I have a lot of people getting custom necklaces now, or necklaces from the website, basically saying, I was afraid that my life would change, and I was afraid of messing up by getting a necklace. I was afraid of changing anything, because that's the thing. People are afraid of messing up what they have now, so they don't change anything, or they don't start a new journey. They don't start a new life's path. You cannot like life changes, but they're gonna come anyway. That's not how life works. I want to stay this age forever. I would like time to be stuck in the same spot forever. That is not how life works. Just because you said that or even thought that, you're gonna see more change than someone who has Moldavite. That person who said they don't want to see life change, their life is dramatically changed overnight. But it's to get them growing, because and if you're someone who tries to fight change as long as you can, you're gonna make it worse for yourself. You're just gonna flat out make it worse. So take the leap, the risk. If you're someone who wants to make videos, do you see me editing my videos? I don't like editing videos. I think it looks cheap. I'm not insulting other content creators who edit their videos. Maybe it's more professional. Maybe it's better. But can you imagine me like Florida Stone Man and then Florida Stone Man? It's just I can't do that. It's just that strikes my soul the wrong way. So I wasn't afraid of messing up. And you remember my old YouTube setup? I like being outside. I was afraid of what if I take the videos outside? What if people are gonna do it? Who cares? Honestly, who cares? So I take my videos outside. There's environmental factors. I walk around and there's people walking around. I'm like, what if I mess up and someone comes on video? Who cares if they come on video? Then they'll be famous too. But who cares? Just mess up. Work on your connection with God versus keeping it idle. Start your small business. Get those gemstones from FloridaStoneman.com to see life changes, because life change is coming regardless. If you want it to be good, that's up to you. You have a lot more control over your destiny than you realize, and a lot less control at the same time. Mess up, because that's how humans got to heaven. If we stayed in the Garden of Eden, we wouldn't make it to heaven. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. Check out FloridaStoneman.com if you haven't already. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.